皆さんこんばんは。久しぶりですね。久しぶりですね means it feels like it's been a long time, hasn't it? Hello, everybody, and welcome to session 18. Session 18 のようこそね。そして、a few things that we're going to do today, guys. As a reminder, hold on. Make sure everything is up to date. There we go. Like, my activity feed looks different and it's kind of throwing me off. Like, I've not seen colors like this before and the activity feed. I don't know if OBS had an update or not or something. But let's see. Grey Wolf Max, welcome in. I'm just making sure my microphone is working so that everyone can hear me. But yeah, minasan, hisashiburi desu. It feels like it's been a long time. So today, let me go on and jump to it. I have been playing Monster Hunter quite a bit and I've been really enjoying it. But like, I don't know, like Saturday, for those of you that have been if you've been watching my Twitter or not, I got my second vaccine for the Moderna shot, and it knocked me out like Saturday and into Sunday, and even today, I'm still kind of feeling it. But like, I don't know how to explain it. Like I feel like I feel like I've been microwaved. Like, I'm really warm right now. And maybe it's because... Oh, I turned my fan off. Oh, that explains everything. There we go. Okay. That explains a lot. I was like, why is it so hot in my room? But it's because I turned my fan off. There we go. So, everyone, how are you doing? Foxes, I see you in here. Okay, so let me go on, and I feel like I still feel kind of out of it. Alright, let me open up Kindle Cloud Reader. Because I did want to review one thing before we get into past tense. In fact, hold on. Oh, there are two... Actually, past tense may take a while. Oh, there's still a few things that I can talk about. But here, let's try this. This is a picture from the textbook, and you guys can see in there. So let me go in and insert a table. We're using blue because the color for this class is blue. Everyone's so quiet today, so maybe I'll direct the lesson today in that case. So, what was I gonna call this? Oh yes, review of aru, iru, and past tense. And past tense, I don't think past tense will be very difficult for everybody. So first of all, let's begin with today's date. It is spring break. Actually, it's almost April. I'm gonna be old, guys. So today in Japanese, we start with the number. I almost put 2019 for some reason. There we go. So in Japanese, we have ni-sen, ni-ju-ichi nen. I don't know why that turned into that. There we go. Ni-sen, ni-ju-ichi nen. 3月29日 for our date. 2021 nen. That's yen, that's not nen. The kanji. 3月29日 for our date. There we go. Ah, gosh, my stomach today. So, before we begin, I want to put this picture here. Of course, this is from the textbook. I want to review aru and iru. And with this picture, I did want to pose the question. Our question is, and we're talking about Takashi-san in this picture. Takashi-san's the dude with the black hair here. And Mary-san is our student from Arizona. So, Takashi-san no machi wa nani ga arimasu ka? And for those of you in the chat, if you are lurking or if you are, if you do want to participate, how would you say this? What does this mean in English? What does this question mean in English? If you, for those of you that are in here, if you would like to answer, because I feel like it may be a bit quiet today. So, Takashi-san no machi wa nani ga arimasu ka? Takashi-san no machi wa nani ga arimasu ka? And I'm actually going to be using like references for this too. I will be going back quite a bit, a few times. In fact, let me double check to see exactly how do these lessons use these. And while you guys are trying to, here we go. I'll do this. Oh, I see what they did. Okay. Yeah, I see what they did here. Well, again, I'll pose the question. What does this mean in English? Takashi-san no machi wa nani ga arimasu ka? Takashi-san no machi wa nani ga arimasu ka? And while you guys are doing that, let me go on and do my quick spiel. For those of you that are new and would like to follow along with the Japanese lessons, you can do !Discord. There we go. !Discord. And I strongly recommend you do join the Discord for the Japanese lessons. Once you do that, oh, I see this one. It will bring you into, of course, it will bring you to my Discord. Here we go. And then you will be sent to the rules page. If you agree to the rules, just like, what is this? React here. And then I strongly suggest you next go to Roles Selector to open up the Japanese channels, which you can find here by reacting with Jacksit. After that, you'll see all the resources here on the left. Currently, we are working, there is a YouTube channel. It is like here. And you can see all the previous lessons. Oh no, I didn't put lesson 17 up. I'll have to put it up. So if you'd like to catch up, you are free to watch these extra videos on your own time, of course. Or if you would rather not do that, you can always just click the notes for chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4. We are currently working and almost finishing the chapter 4 document at this point. And there is an anonymous penguin. That's cute. Anyway, in English, this means, what is there in Takashi City or town? Now remember, arimasu in this case is the is there, like what exists in his city. And there are many things that you can see that exist here. We have the library, the hospital, a cafe, supermarket, restaurant, hotel. This is a post office, by the way. The sign here is typical for a Japanese post office. There's also people. There's like a dog, there's a cat, there's a bicycle, and there's this dude. I don't know what this dude's doing. There's a bus stop here. So there's many things that we can use to describe the location of things. So the first thing I would ask is like, let's answer this first question here. Takashi-san no machi wa nani ga arimasu ka? So we could say, like, using a frame, if we use our frame from before, like, the place, Takashi-san no machi, wait, no, not that one. Because we're talking about what does it have. So we're using the, whatchamacallit. Hey Thomas, how are you doing today? Here, we're using things to describe they have or their that own. So our subject, we Takashi-san no machi wa, the thing that exists in his town. So we'll be using this example here. So I'll copy this and we'll paste it down here at the very bottom as we review this. So we're going to be using this frame. And I will do one with everybody. Let me change the color to this to be transparent. Everyone's quiet tonight. That's okay. I guess people will just want to lurk and watch. So we're still talking about Takeshi-san no machi. So this is our subject. I can copy and paste this here. Takeshi-san no machi, my particle, wa, and what thing exists in his city? And our particle is going to be ga, of course. So we could say, for example, there's a supermarket. Supermarket in Japanese is super. And our verb would be arimasu. Takeshi-san no machi wa super ga arimasu. There is a supermarket in Takeshi-san city. And then I'll put this, of course, in hiragana. Takeshi-san no machi wa super ga arimasu. And that's how we build one of these sentences, using these frames. The subject, for example, will not change, neither will the particle, but the thing is what will be changing if we're describing what's in his city. So, Takeshi-san no machi wa super ga arimasu. Those of you in chat, you could use this frame also. Could you tell me something else that exists in Takeshi-san city? What's another thing that exists in his city? In fact, I'm not going to do that. So, like, just other examples. Maybe everybody's enjoying their spring break early. So Takeshi-san no machi wa nani ga arimasu ka? What else exists in Takeshi-san city? Oh, by the way, that does remind me. I do want to share something. Like, ever since I started playing Monster Hunter, I am planning on trying to make this, by the way. Like, the food in Monster Hunter this time is dango, and I've been wanting to eat dango for, like, so badly lately. So I plan on making this and taking many pictures. I've never made dango before, so this will be an experience. I like how they had, like, toasted the sides a little bit. I don't know if I'll be able to do that, because I don't have the blowtorch thing. But this looks amazing. It looks really... It looks delicious. Like, apparently this is a sweet soy glaze. And that's, I want it. Other examples. What else exists in Takeshi-san's city? I'll do another example. Remember, if our subject's not going to change, it's going to be the same. Takeshi. Hey, Asanonix, welcome in. Takeshi-san no machi wa. If I pick it, like, I use super, I'm going to use library this time. Toshokan. Toshokan ga arimasu. What are some other things that exist in Takeshi-san city? So far my examples have been supermarket and library. And because we're talking about things that he has in his city, we're not using the particle ni just yet. We're not exactly talking about their locations. We're talking about what exists there. What does it have? What does he have in his city? So, of course, remember, our subject stays the same. So does the particle. Oh, you're okay, Asanonix. The thing, this is the only thing that's going to change. And I'm going to highlight, not highlight, I'm going to like color this yellow, or orange. So you guys know that this is what's changing when we describe things in his city. So, we said, Takeshi-san no machi wa super ga arimasu. For there is a supermarket in his city. I just said, Takeshi-san no machi wa toshokan ga arimasu. Which is library. What else exists in his town based on this photo? Hi, Grey Wolf Max, that is correct. Takeshi-san no machi wa restaurant ga arimasu. So again, Takeshi-san no machi wa restaurant ga arimasu. What's another thing that exists? So we said library, supermarket, and restaurant. Toshokan, super, restaurant. In fact, I may introduce another grammar point real quick because something has come up. There is a bank. Do you remember the word for bank? You don't? That's okay. Bank is ginko. So bank. I'll do it like this first. And I'll try. I'll allow you to try to make the sentence on your own first. Ginko. For bank. And there are many things here. There's quite a few. In fact, you can see the bank here at the top. So the frame, Tachisan no machi wa thing ga arimasu. There is a hospital too. And I'm probably gonna end up having to copy this again. SN9, go and try to build the sentence. Our frame's right here. Yes, there you go. Tachisan no machi wa ginko ga arimasu. So I'll erase this one now. Ga arimasu. There we go. Now this is where I'm going to do a small change. Last time I taught you guys the particle to, which has two uses. One could be used when in between two nouns, it means and. But after a noun, which could be a person or animal, it means with. We'll be working on with later. But especially for these sentences, since we're still talking about the same thing, Tachisan no machi, I'm gonna bring back this particle. Here, let's insert this table. Like this. And we're gonna make this red because whenever we talk about particles, it's very important. Let's center this one up. And you guys may remember this. What did particle mo mean, by the way? Who remembers? What does particle mo mean? What is particle mo? I almost put the answer in for you. What was particle mo? Yes, it is also. The way we used this before is when we were describing like an odd like Meri-san wa Nihonjin desu, Takeshi-san mo Nihonjin. We were describing the subject being the same thing. But in this case, even though the subject's the same, there are different objects here. We can also use this to describe what also exists in Takashi's town. Be aware that mo replaces wa, ga, and o. So basically, I can Takashi-san no machi wa toshokan ga arimasu. I can replace this ga and say, Takashi-san no machi wa restaurant mo arimasu. His city also has a restaurant. Mo. Takashi-san no machi wa ginko mo arimasu. His city also has a bank. And I'm going to highlight these because these are small changes that I just made. I will be talking about this particle mo again very shortly. So, does this make sense for you guys? Like, replacing ga with mo. Like, Tachi-san no machi wa toshokan ga arimasu. There is a library in Takashi's town. But instead of putting mo to replace wa, like, to his town also... Hold on. Because if I had put, like, mo here, I feel like I'd have to replace this. And it would have to be talking about the same thing. So if I said like Tachi-san no machi wa toshokan ga arimasu, I would also have to say like Kitsuneko 42 san no machi mo toshokan ga arimasu. Like, gar. Like, notice here I changed the subject, but the object is still the same. Whereas here, the subject is still the same, but now the object has changed. But it also exists within this subject kind of thing. Takushi no machi wa restaurant mo arimasu. Takushi-san no machi wa ginko mo arimasu. But be careful, and this is the important part. I'm going to double highlight this, actually. Mo replaces wa, ga, and o. Notice that I did not put de or ni in here. Both of those are still going to exist whenever we use mo here. Alright, so I would use niwa after the subject. Like Takushi no machi niwa. I mean, it could be because it's a location. I mean, it is a location. By the way, welcome in, Kitsuneko. I'll take that. I'll put that in here because it's a location, but also we're talking about the location here, but we're also marking it as the topic by doing this. Takushi-san no machi ni wa toshokan ga arimasu. Takushi-san no machi ni wa restaurant mo arimasu. Kind of thing. In fact, I'm gonna put that here. Ni wa. Yeep. Now I'm gonna copy this photo here. And we're gonna put it. We're gonna put it here. But this time we're gonna be describing the location of things. The first time we were talking about what exists in Takushi-san City. This time, let's describe the locations of these things in the city or in the town. So, for example, look at the restaurant right here. The restaurant's facing toward this road. There's a dog in front of it. Would you say that the restaurant is next? Let me rephrase. I would say that the supermarket is behind the restaurant because based on the way the restaurant's looking, I would say it's behind. Do you guys agree with me? Like the restaurant is behind, the supermarket is behind the restaurant. So, like for example. If we use a dog point of view, yes. If we use a dog, we're the dog in this case. For example, the supermarket is behind the restaurant. The supermarket is in front. Oh, the dog is in front of the restaurant, which is in front of the supermarket. So we could say, like, yeah, the dog. So the supermarket is behind. We could say, super wa. So we're gonna start. We're talking about the supermarket. Super wa restaurant no oshiro. Oh, oshiro ni arimasu. The restaurant is behind. So here we have the topic. We're talking about the supermarket. So, super. I don't know why I wrote it like a super wa. And now we need our. Here's our talk. Now we need our landmark. We're talking about the behind the restaurant. So, restaurant no oshiro. I'm spelling it. It's ushiro. Oh my gosh, ushiro. I'm thinking of a different word. Ushiro ni arimasu. Hey Firecat, welcome in. In fact, here, let me copy here. Where's my not this one. Landmark or object. In fact, we're kind of doing this. Now remember, now that we're talking about the location, arimasu is going to require the particle ni in this case. How are you doing, Firecat? So for this, I'll make a new table. I think 4 is enough. So we'll have like, man, my mind's kind of like out of it today. So here we'll have our subject, particle, which is our topic, of course, subject wa, and then our landmark reference. And of course, we need to use particle ni because we're talking about location. Watashi wa tottemo tsukareteiru. You're very tired. I am too. I'm still like feeling the effects of my COVID vaccine. Arimasu. 月曜日は最悪。最低 or 最悪ですね。Just another case of the Mondays, as Wanda would say. Am I right? Anyway, here we go. Our landmark reference. And for our landmark reference, for those of you that are using the notes, I put this in purple. We'll be using, where's the vocab? I put a lot of words here. Here we go. We have migi, hirari, mae, ushiro, naka, ue, shita, shikaku, or soba, and then tonari. And I put these words here before, like what these words mean, like to the right of, to the left, in front of, behind, inside, or middle, on, above. I don't think we'll be using these for this map, but they're here for you to use as a reference if you'd like. So I talked about the restaurant. So for the restaurant's behind, the supermarket is behind the restaurant. Now let's talk about the hotel. Where could we say the hotel is? And there are many ways you can actually say this, because look, like if you look behind the hotel, there is a park. How would we say, like, where's the hotel? So if my question is, where's the hotel? Hoteru wa doko desu ka? Hoteru wa doko desu ka? How would you describe the location of the hotel? First of all, remember the subject is the hotel. We're talking about the hotel. So of course we'll put that here in the beginning. So our answer would be, and I'll put this in Roman letters. Hoteru wa. And now what's our landmark reference? Because there are many things that we can use. First of all, if the hotel is here, what can we use as a landmark reference? What is near the hotel? There are technically 3 things we could use. What are some of the buildings that are... Hoteru wa Yubin-kyoku no tonari ni arimasu. Kitsuneko was using the Yubin-kyoku, or the post office. So because Hoteru wa, our landmark reference, Yubin-kyoku no tonari ni arimasu. I can't spell today. And tonari. Tonari is one of our words. Tonari means, if I scroll back up, I know it's a lot of scrolling. Tonari means next to. So that's one way we could describe the location of the hotel. Hoteru wa Yubin-kyoku no tonari ni arimasu. It is next to the post office. What's another way? Hoteru wa... What's another way we could describe the location of this? Now, Kitsuneko-san put it in kanji. I'll put it in romanji first for you guys. So we used Yubin-kyoku. There are 2 other buildings we could use as a reference for this. Or, like I said, there are multiple ways you can describe the location of things. Koen no soba ni arimasu. Soba is next. Let me double check soba. Because soba. Yeah, it is near the park. That works too. Okay, I'm worthless here. It's okay, Firecat. So that works. We could say koen no soba ni arimasu. It is near the park. Now be careful, this soba is not noodles. I want some now. Hoteru wa koen no soba ni arimasu. And you could also use the restaurant as a reference. I'm gonna do something weird and be like, Hoteru wa restaurant no mae ni arimasu. Who remember what is mae? Because look at the direction the restaurant is facing. Hoteru wa restaurant no mae ni arimasu. Mae means in front of. So if I said like the hotel's in front of the restaurant, because this is the restaurant's face, it's facing the hotel. Those are like 3 ways you could have described the location of this. You probably could have said like in front of the park, like koen no mae ni arimasu. Tonari. You could also say like now this is weird. Like Kitsuneko, would this be like Hoteru wa yubin kyoku no hidari ni arimasu? Or do you like the building's left, or would you just use migi because it's to the right of the building? Actually, I think that makes more to the right of the building. It's like Hoteru wa yubin kyoku no migi ni arimasu. To the right of the building. Kind of like that. Our perspective, left to right. Okay. Because I know when you're talking about like someone's arms or like body parts, you use their perspective instead. Now, I want us to talk about the cafe here. And there's actually there are many ways we can refer to this. And this one does bring up a question I have for you, Kitsuneko. Let's talk about the cafe. Hoteru restaurant no mukou ni arimasu. It's like mukou? Wait, am I reading that kanji right? Mukou? That means across, doesn't it? I haven't taught them that word yet. But yeah, yep, across from. Let's talk about the cafe real quick, because there's actually multiple ways we can talk about the cafe now. So in this case, they use the word cafe. I'm gonna use kisaten this time because I've been using the word cafe. So the question is, where is the Japanese tea house? So in this case, kisaten wa doko desu ka? Kisaten wa doko desu ka? There's another way that we can describe. We have the bank and we have the hospital. Now remember, before we ended our last lesson, we could say e tobi no aida to say something is in between. Now the text uses the verb des. I think we could actually use ni arimasu as well here, I think. So how would you describe the location of kisaten, the cafe? Because look, this is not a Starbucks. Staba janai. Kono? It's right in front of me because I'm pointing. Kono kisaten wa Staba janai desu yo. So we have bank and hospital. Remember, we learned bank is ginko. Yeah, ginko for bank. What was hospital? What is hospital? You could also say it's actually behind the supermarket too. Yes, hospital. Byoin. Remember, be careful with that first syllable. Byoin is not byoin. That's a different building entirely. Byoin, beauty parlor. Byoin, hospital. So let us describe the location of the cafe. We could say kisaten wa, because we're talking about kisaten still. I'll use the bank first. Kisaten wa ginko no migi desu. It is to the right of the bank. Ginko no migi desu. Kisaten wa ginko no migi desu. I messed that up. Ginko no migi ni arimasu. There we go. Kisaten wa ginko no migi ni arimasu. And I'll slow it down, sorry. 喫茶店は銀行の右にあります。喫茶店は銀行の右にあります。What's another way to describe the location of the 喫茶店? Remember, 喫茶店. This cafe makes me want to kiss a ten. Excuse me. It's a quiet lesson tonight. I'll go ahead and use both 病院 and 銀行 for this. I could say 喫茶店は銀行と病院の間です. It is between the bank and the hospital. That's what this means. The cafe is between the bank and the hospital. Now the text tells me to use des. Kitsuneku, could I use 喫茶店は銀行と病院の間にあります? Would that still make sense, or would des be more appropriate for this? I actually kind of wonder, what's the latency? Like, how long is there between? So the cafe is between the bank and the hospital. Remember, this is review. This was one of the last things we learned. Where did I put it? Here we go. Using this. Landmark or place. A to B no aida. A to B no aida for in between. So the cafe is between the bank and the hospital. 喫茶店は銀行と病院の間です。喫茶店は銀行と病院の間です. To describe those locations. It is behind the supermarket. That is correct. It is behind the supermarket. So we can say 喫茶店はスーパーの後ろにあります. It is also behind the supermarket. I hear beeping. Be right back, guys. Okay, guys, sorry about that. But yes, that I just came back home. Gomen nasai. Jesse, welcome in. We are reviewing how to use our location words. So far, we've talked about the hotel and the cafe. So we have 喫茶店は銀行の右にあります. It is to the right of the bank. 喫茶店は銀行と病院の間です. It is between the bank and hospital. And Astronautics just said 喫茶店はスーパーの後ろにあります. It is behind the supermarket. Now here, I'm gonna mix it up a little bit. Let's talk about the dog, by the way. Let's talk about this dog. Dog は日本語で犬ですよ. In Japanese, dog is inu. So let's try this. Where is the dog? 犬はどこですか? 犬はどこですか? Yes, inu. Love the inu. 犬はどこですか? How would we describe the dog's location? Inu wa doko desu ka? Inu wa doko desu ka? Everyone loves the Inu, especially the Monster Hunter Inu. I love my Palamuts. So Inu. Inu wa doko desu ka? Or even better yet, instead of saying Inu wa doko desu ka, Inu wa doko ni... I press button. Doko ni imasu ka? Where is the dog? And use this as a clue. Doko ni imasu ka? And why am I using imasu, by the way? Inu wa restaurant to hoteru no aida desu. Restaurant to hoteru... It is between. So we could use that. And I'll put this in Romanji. Inu wa restaurant to hoteru no aida desu. It is the dog is between the restaurant and the hotel. And then we could also still break this up and like talk about it individually. We'd say like hotel or restaurant by itself. Inu wa restaurant no mae ni imasu. It's in front of the restaurant kind of thing. Inu wa restaurant to hoteru no aida ni imasu. And see, that's my question. I think we could use des, or in this case, ni imasu would be appropriate too. Inu wa restaurant to hoteru no aida ni imasu. See, I feel like that should be appropriate as well. Inu wa restaurant to hoteru no aida ni imasu. I feel like that should be appropriate as well. Speaking of inu, watashi no inu wa ushiro ni imasu. What does that mean, by the way? I just said a sentence. Watashi no inu wa ushiro ni imasu. Speaking of dog, like translate this one, guys. Watashi no inu wa ushiro ni imasu. Yes, my dog is behind me right now. He's sleeping. My pupper is behind me. Yep. Watashi no inu wa ushiro ni imasu. He's behind me. So, watashi no netteru inu wa ushiro ni imasu. I added something there. My sleeping dog is behind me. All right. I think we did well with this. We were able. I wanted us to practice describing locations. These are and using the landmark references. We were using this before. Like if I said like neko wa sukue no ue ni imasu, like the cat is on top of the table, kind of thing. And this is what we were practicing the other day. I'm gonna go on and jump to the next thing, and the next thing may be actually kind of simple. And by I say simple, I apologize. It may not be simple. And we're gonna talk about past tense. Oh, I can't spell today. Past tense in the Nihongo. Let's start with des. As a quick review, let's with des. Let's start with des to be. Let's start with present. Present tense practice. Let's insert a table. The verb, present positive, present negative. And let's see if you guys remember this one. So let's see. Let's center this up. Actually, I want to center all of this. The color for this class is blue. We'll just do this nice light blue. Here we go. So we'll have our verb, present positive, present negative. Now remember, in Japanese, you can technically use the present tense to describe future as well. So if our verb is des, Our verb is des. The present positive to des is just going to be, well, des. Who remember, what is the negative of des? How do we say the opposite? Like, this is not. What is the present negative of des? Hai, janai desu. Janai desu. Or, more polite, or, not exactly polite, but more conservatively, ja arimasen. Between these two, ja arimasen is more polite. So it looks like you guys got it. Now, let's add the past tense. And I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna copy this table and put it here, because it's so I don't have to remake it. Verb. Now we have the past positive and the past negative. See, I can't spell today, guys. And the past negative. So our verb is still des. And the reason why I'm doing des first is because it's a little bit different compared to the rules the other verbs take. Give me a second. Hold on. My stomach turned for a bit. Okay. So our past positive of des becomes deshita. 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 So like, I could say I am a cat. Neko desu. I was a cat. Neko deshita. I was a cat. Neko deshita. So same verb, but the tense is different. We're now talking about the past. In fact, you know what? Because this is past tense, I'm going to change this color to green because this is more advanced. Des. Deshita. Now the past negative. Ja nakatta desu. Which sounds kind of weird, by the way. Janakatta desu. Neko janakatta desu. Probably because what makes this weird to me, like janakatta by itself would be the short form. That would be considered less formal. So to make it more formal, you just add des again, which is weird because you're talking about the negative of des, but you're adding des to it again. So deshita, past negative, janakatta desu. I was not a cat. Neko janakatta desu. I was not a cat. Neko janakatta desu. And of course, more conservatively. And this one tends to make more sense to me. Ja arimasen deshita. Ja arimasen deshita. See, like, this makes more sense than this does to me, to be honest. Because, like, look, past, negative, negative past, present? So, but yeah, it's one of these weird ones. So, we have deshita, janakatta desu. So, like I said, I could say, like, this is coffee. This was coffee. Coffee is kohi, by the way. How would we say this? This is coffee. Simple sentence. This is coffee. How would we say this in Japanese? Nihongo de, this is coffee wa nan desu ka? Hai, kohi desu. Kohi desu. Now, how would you say this was coffee? This was coffee. Kohi deshita. Hai. This was coffee. Kohi deshita. That kind of implies like it transformed into something, right? Like, what did the coffee turn into? Like, it was coffee, but now it's this. Now it's just creamer. Now let's try the negative. Like, this is not meat. This was not meat. Honestly, that's me. Like, I'll have a cup of coffee and I'm like, this is coffee, and then I'll put like a gallon of creamer on it because I like coffee with my cream, not cream with my coffee. Hi, niku desu and niku deshita. But let's change it to this was not. We're using the negative for this one. So very similar. Niku, what was the negative for what is the negative? Niku janai desu. Niku janai desu. And then what's the past negative? This was not meat. Like, you eat a Beyond Burger and you're like, this was not meat. Yes, the polite way. Niku ja arimasen deshita. Niku ja arimasen deshita. Or more casually, Niku ja na katta desu. And of course, I'll do it here. Niku ja arimasen deshita. Niku ja na katta desu. In fact, I should combine these. See, I tend to, like, especially when I was taught, like, ja arimasen was more accepted, but within, like, dear God, I'm about to say this. Within the 15 years I've been in, oh my God, it's 15 years. 15 years since I've been in college, like, janakata is more socially acceptable at this point. I may, especially for me, I tend to be more conservative with my Japanese. In fact, my Japanese is very textbook, mitai. Yes. Yeah. So this was not meat. I think that was pretty simple. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now let's talk about verbs, or other verbs. How many verb types do we have, by the way? Because des is our irregular verb. But outside of des, outside of our irregular verbs, how many verb types do we have? Yes, the u verb and ru verb. So, past tense with u and ru. In fact, here, let me change this. These verbs are going to follow their usual rules. The exception, or the change, is that instead of masen, we will be using mashita, masen deshita for past and for present, for positive and negative past tense. So this is where I'm going to make an even bigger chart. So we're gonna have verb, present, positive. Yeah, we're gonna practice this one quite a bit. In fact, here, let me move this to the next page. And then to make it easier, we'll put this as present tense, we'll keep as blue. Past tense, I marked it as green because it's the new stuff. So here, let's center all this up, and I will organize this into a nice way for everybody to understand. So we have our verb, present, positive, present, negative, past, positive, past negative. So I'm going to be throwing several verbs at you guys. Some of them you may know, and some of them are going to be new from this chapter. First of all, let's do this one. Taberu. What does taberu mean? I'll give you a hint. It's a ru verb. What is taberu? To eat. Taberu is to eat. What? Jesse, that confused me. That, like, super confused me for some reason. How do we conjugate taberu into present positive? Hai, tabemasu. Oops. Tabemasu. What about present negative? Tabemasen. Tabemasen. Next chapter, we should learn how to write taberu. Now, our new rule for positive, negative, mashita and masen deshita. In fact, I should have highlighted that whole thing. So, past positive would be tabemashita. And past negative would be yes, tabemasen deshita. That is a whole lot to say. Tabemasen deshita. There we go. So we have tabemasu, tabemasen, tabemashita, tabemasen deshita. Let's see. Let's try one of our new verbs. In fact, let me open up our Wow, this is a long. So many. I'm gonna open up our Quizlet and see if I can find a new verb for us to use. Let's see. What's a new verb we have? Oh, here we go. Kau. Kau. What is kau? Yeah, this is just the beginning. What is kau? For those of you that have been studying the flashcards, what is kau? Not a woo, but kau. Neko o kau. Kau. I'll give you guys a hint. Watashi wa terebi game o kaimasu. Using kau. Terebi game, which is video game. Terebi game o kaimasu. Let me talk about dinner. Bangohan. Watashi wa bangohan o kaimasu. I'm using the same verb. Kau. Kaimasu. Bangohan o kai. Yes, this is to buy. To buy. So what is present positive of kau? Now be careful. This is an u verb. That u turns into what? So kau turns into what? Hai. Kaimasu. Kaimasu. What is the present negative of kau? Present negative of kau. Kaimasen. Watashi wa Xbox o kaimasen. Xbox ga suki janai kara kaimasen. Because I don't like Xbox, I will not buy it. What is past positive of kaimasu? Kaimashita. Sushi o kaimashita. I bought sushi. Sushi o kaimashita. And what is this past negative of kau? Kaimasen deshita. See, I love short form so much better when it comes to this. Kaimasen deshita. Kaimasen deshita. It's so much easier to say kawanakata. See, how many syllables? Kaimasen deshita. That's 8 syllables. Kawanakata. That's 5. So much easier to do this in short form. Kawanakata versus kaimasen deshita. Alright, so that was one of our new verbs. Let me pick another new verb. Oh, here's a good one. Matsu. Kawanakata, and that's a short form. The u turns into wa. With like anything ending with just an u. What is matsu? This is also u. Matsu. Matsu. Matsu? Don't confuse this with Matsuri. You know, I think I'm gonna buy these things on Amazon. Like I just saw this again and I'm like, I want to make this so much. You could find dango in Matsuri, by the way. I really want to make the dango. I've heard of it as festival. Matsuri would be festival. Matsu. You may have heard matsu in its te form as matte. What would that mean? Matte. That would be the te form of it. Yeah, this is to wait. Matsu. To wait. What is the present positive? Now be careful. This is using tsu. So this has got to change to its this I version. What would just change to? Matsu. And present positive. Matsu to... You're close, but there's no tsi. What would that turn into? Instead of matsi. There you go, Jesse. Machi. Machimasu. It comes from the line of ti. Remember, we have ta, chi, tsu, te, to. We replace this. If we, this is technically supposed to be like, how do I do it? Like ta, ti, tu, te, to. But these are pronounced differently. Like if you put this T here, it's still going to be pronounced as chi instead. So machimasu. Like koko de. Yeah, koko de machimasu. I will wait here. It is an u verb. But it's one of those, because the T's are different. Like in like a normal one, like ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, you replace that final u and you go to like ki. But with the T's, ta, chi, tsu, te, to, it's a different rule, slightly. The tsu turns into chi instead. Machimasu. What would be present negative then? Now that you know that tsu turns to chi, what is the past negative? Machimasen! In fact, that's used in the beginning of this one. Of like, if you see the original Full Metal Alchemist, when Ed is chasing Al, he's like, wait! He's like, I'm not gonna wait, Machimasen! Machimasen! So Machimasen. Alright, what is past positive of I waited? In fact, you know what? Here, let me see if I can find that real quick. While you guys are doing this. There we go. Okay. Yes, machimashita. Machimashita. And then what would be the past negative? I did not wait. It's kind of weird to say I did not wait. Usually it's tied with I did not want to wait, which is a different way to conjugate. Machimasen deshita. Hold on. So much to type. Machimasen deshita. Alright, let me see if I can find the opening scene real quick. Here we go. Okay. It's this scene. Yeah, that scene. Machimasen! I won't wait. I was like, no, I'm not gonna wait. Yeah, but that was the scene where, like, I remember this from. Let's do one more example, and then I will. Oh, I will maybe rate out. Let's see, another new verb. Oh, here we go. I'm using a lot of oo verbs with you guys. Let's try kaku. Kaku. What is kaku? Kaku. Yeah, Al was saying Ed was saying matte, and Ed was saying wait, I'm sorry. Ed was saying matte, and Al was saying machimasen. Matte is a different we will get there eventually. That's a chapter 6, which is we're almost at chapter 6, guys. Which reminds me, we're almost done with the beginner's Japanese section. We're about to move on. We're almost at the JPN level 2, guys. We almost finished. This means that this week we will probably be doing our Kahoot with this game. What is kaku, by the way? Kaku wa nan desu ka? Kaku. Oh, my neck. Actually feeling a headache starting to come back, so I'm probably going to rate out shortly. I haven't studied verbs. Guilty. Oh, you guys, study the tango wo benkyou shinasai yo. Tango wo benkyou shita hou ga ii desu yo. It'd be good for you to study the vocabulary. Kaku, to write. So, tegami o kakimasu, I write a letter. Senpai ni tegami o kakimashita. I wrote a letter to senpai. Okay, anyway. How do we conjugate this? Present positive, kaku. Kaku. Present positive. Kakimasu. Present negative. Sorry, yeah, I like space out. Kakimasen. Kakimasen. I did not write. Okasa ni tegami o kakimasen. I will not write a letter to my mother. What is past positive? Kakimasu to what? Kakimashita. Kakimashita. There we go. Hold on, I'm supposed to do the... Kakimashita. And then Asanonics already put it as Kakimasen deshita. 書きませんでした。お母さんに手紙を書きませんでした。I did not write a letter to my mother. I think you guys are kind of getting it. I will be putting more conjugation practice in the Discord. I said I was going to put these pictures, by the way, for practice for you guys in the Discord, but I kind of felt like it was better to review it with you guys together, kind of thing. I actually think that's going to be it for the lessons for today, because I'm starting to get a headache. I'm still, like, surviving from my vaccination. So, let's see. Thank you guys for coming in for lessons today. For those of you that have been lurking, if you would like to continue learning Japanese with us, or would like to review and be part of the practice, I do recommend you join the Discord. Once you join my Discord, it will look like this. It'll bring you to the rules page again. I know I do this like every stream. It'll bring you to... This is not the rules page. Here we go. This one's my Discord. It'll bring you to the rules page. Once you've accepted the rules by reacting with Jack Love, you will then see all of the channels. Now, in order to get the Japanese section, you need to go to Role Selector. In Role Selector, to see the Japanese channel, select React here with Jack Sip. That will allow you to see all the resources here. We're currently in Japanese 1. Again, there is a YouTube channel available for you to use. And we have sessions 1 through 16. I do need to upload session 17. Today is session 18. Yeah, I probably should rest a bit. Oh, the Dango. I forgot I was looking at Dango. I want it so bad. And by resting, I probably mean watching anime tonight. We are currently working on chapter 4. There are 2 more chapters left, guys. We have chapter 5, which is adjectives. That's the most important thing. And then chapter 6, which is Tay form. And then we're done with super beginner Japanese. Now we're in like intermediate beginner Japanese at Japanese 2. So we're almost there. Discord anime? I think so. Yes, more Dr. Stone tonight. So as a heads up, by the time we are finished, if you look at the Japanese 2 resources, we will have learned all this kanji. In fact, next chapter we have, yes, we learned taberu and nomu in the next chapter. We've learned particles. We've learned this and that. We can conjugate verbs in both present and past tense, which are working on past tense now. We can describe let's see, done that, did this, just finished this, did this, can describe locations of people, just did that. Can describe, haven't done that yet, haven't done that yet. Haven't done that yet. Haven't done that yet. No, not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. So, as you can see, we've done this much, and within the next 2 chapters, we will probably finish the rest of this. Like, based on what we've done, and like looking at this, we have a lot to cover in the next 2 chapters. That's actually kind of a lot. Like, describe people or things using adjectives. That would be quick. Describing likes and dislikes using ski or kirai. Describe activities with others, like oyogimashou. Let's swim together. Oyogimashou. Or how would you like tetsudaimashou ka? Would you like me to help? Kind of thing. Which is how you offer to help someone. We will do that one later. So, wow. I'm actually impressed. We've done a lot. We've done a lot, guys. For what we've been doing, we've done... Oh my god, the dongo. We've done a lot. Alright, let me see. I don't think Kitsuneko's ready to stream yet, but let's find out. Here. Who can we raid out to for now? Because, like, I'm starting to feel it. Tango's playing. Oh, Slush Dog's playing. Okay, we're gonna raid out to Slush Doggo. Slush Dog's a good friend. They are playing Monster Hunter Rise right now. I think they just started. Oh, they're 20 minutes in. Perfect. Okay, we will raid out to Slush Doggo, guys. It is extremely loyal to the manga. That's very good, because the manga's good. I stopped reading it because it's one of those rare occasions where I'm like, I really want to watch this, not read it. Even though I found myself like reading more and more and more, and I'm like, I need to stop. I needed to stop. Because, like, it was so good, but it's like, normally I'm like, I would rather read the manga, but for that one, I really wanted to watch it so much more. Anyway, our raid message would be, Hunter Slush with Jack the Heart emotes if you have them, like this. Hunter Slush, like this. Thank you guys for thank you guys for coming in for today's lesson. I hope I will catch you guys on Wednesday for the next one. Bye, guys.